For the last few weeks, we all thought we knew who was going to play the backup power forward position for the New York Knicks. It was going to be primarily Josh Hart, and like we saw during preseason, a little bit of Jericho Sims. However, according to Tom Thibodeau, those may not be the only options that we see at the backup power forward position this season. According to Thibs, we might see Isaiah Hartenstein play a primary role at that position this season. According to Thibs, he likes what he sees when I-Hart and Jericho Sims share the floor together. We're going to break down the report and see exactly what he said and see what Isaiah Hartenstein stated that he's basically asked to do when he's out there, when he's playing with Jericho Sims. We're also going to look at the real reason why Josh Hart was absent from the preseason game this past Monday. All of this and so much more today. Let's get started. Isaiah Hartenstein, could he be the primary backup power forward going into this season? If you talk to Tom Thibodeau, that might be the thing that you actually take away from the conversation. Because according to Thibs, he basically mentions that he likes the way Hartenstein and Jericho Sims look out there together. According to Zach Braziller of the New York Post, he states that both Sims and Hartenstein have been working out at both the power forward and center spots, according to Tom Thibodeau. Thibodeau stated the following: Hartenstein and Jericho, they play very effectively together. And oftentimes, I'll go more by how they're being defended and who do they have on their 4 and who do they have on their 5. At least that's what Tom Thibodeau stated. And the thing with Hartenstein, a lot of people don't know this, he actually grew up playing the 4. So he does have experience playing that position if Tom Thibodeau does ask him to do so. And according to the New York Post, they state that it sounds like Hartenstein and Jericho Sims will share the court together at times against bigger lineups. And we want to remind people that a year ago, Sims and Hartenstein were on the court at the same time for 128 minutes. They rebounded very well in those instances, and they produced a sky-high offensive rebounding percentage of 37.9%. So if you want to know why Tom Thibodeau likes them out there together, it's because of that. Tom Thibodeau loves rebounding, he loves glass work, and he loves second chance opportunities. Those two will get you a lot of those. But it's worth noting, and shout out to the New York Post for telling us the other side of this as well too. When they were both on the court together, they were outscored by the opposition by 3.1 points per 100 possessions in that alignment and averaged only 106.3 points per 100 possessions. What does that basically mean? It basically means that when you have those two out there, your offense is going to be limited, and sometimes on the other end, you might give up a couple of extra points as well too. So we have to remember, even though they give you some versatile offensive rebounding, and you definitely need that, and Tom Thibodeau is going to be somebody that looks for that. You need a little bit more on this Knicks team to stay on the court. And I think we saw in that preseason game, Jericho Sims at the 4 is not the best look for him and is not the best use of his skill set. Jericho Sims needs to play a backup 5 position. I would argue, given his passing, his better ability to shoot, Isaiah Hartenstein, in my opinion, actually makes more sense as the primary backup power forward to Julius Randle. I would rather see that than I would rather see Josh Hart in this instance, play backup power forward to Julius Randle. Not only because of the height, but I don't know why nobody says this. If Josh Hart guards other people that are bigger than him, and he has to go a little bit away from the paint, that means the gift that he gives you on rebounding is going to be limited. It's going to be hampered. Why would you want to do that to one of the best rebounding guards in the league? It doesn't make sense. You want to give Josh Hart the opportunity to do what he can do and play his game. And I think if you play Isaiah Hartenstein at the 4 and allow him to be the primary backup power forward to Julius Randle, I think it complements the team better and it helps everybody better. And it allows people to play their more natural positions within the lineup. Hartenstein could actually solve a lot of problems. When I read this report, I actually got a little bit excited because Tom Thibodeau, for once, said something to me in terms of a lineup adjustment that absolutely made sense. And I think if you saw Jericho Sims at the 4 during that preseason game, even if it was one preseason game, and I don't care what they do together on the court in terms of rebounding, I would rather see Hartenstein and Mitch out there than Hartenstein and Sims out there. Because at least you get the defense with Mitch, and Hartenstein can give you the passing and a little bit of the shooting that a 4 needs. So I would take that any day. For me, it makes a lot of sense. And as you saw, statistics do back up why Tom Thibodeau might run it a little bit more. Although, when asked about his role with Jericho Sims and when they play together, Hartenstein mentioned that with Sims, he plays a little bit more of a 5 role instead of a 4 role. Hartenstein said the following: I think when me and Jericho are on the court, they'll probably want me to be in the passing game. So I'll be more playing the 5. That way I can facilitate. But then just in pick and roll stuff, just trying to space out the court and read what they're doing. Just make everyone's life easier. And Hartenstein is capable of that. And I think Tom Thibodeau knows that. And that's why he mentioned what he mentioned. And honestly, I would rather see Hartenstein play the backup 4 than Jericho Sims or Josh Hart. That's just my opinion. He has the size, he has the shooting touch, and he also has the passing. And I think he would get more touches when he played the 4 in terms of shooting. And I think that might help him. And just saying, if the Knicks wanted to help increase his value in a potential trade down the road, that's how you do it. So it benefits everybody. And I absolutely mean everybody for Hartenstein to play that 4 role. But it does seem like, at least what he said here, that when it's him and Jericho Sims on the floor together, he's going to be playing the 5 role more than the 4 position, which means that Tom Thibodeau still has a lot of faith and trust that Jericho Sims can absolutely play the backup power forward position. And if you saw that preseason game, albeit it's just one preseason game, that scares me a little bit because he's still very green. His shot looks terrible. There's no way to give a compliment or put that nice. It's bad. I don't want to see him shoot another jump shot bad. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he is ready to play that backup power forward position. I think they should just switch because it makes sense for both players. I don't understand why Tom Thibodeau would continue having Hartenstein play the 5 when him and Jericho are on the court together. Because in my opinion, it doesn't look well. You could flip it and still get the rebounding that you want. So I just don't understand why he wouldn't do that. But at least we have some updates here in terms of what Tom Thibodeau is going to do with that backup power forward position moving forward. Don't think it's just going to be Jericho Sims and Josh Hart getting the bulk of those minutes. Because I think, given what we heard right now and given this report, absolutely you can make a case that Hartenstein could get some minutes at the backup power forward position under Tom Thibodeau this season. Why did Josh Hart miss the first preseason game? A lot of fans have been asking this question, wondering where is Josh Hart? Is he okay? Is he going to play the next preseason game? Well, shout out to the New York Post, Zach Braziller, for reporting the following from Tom Thibodeau about Josh Hart. According to the New York Post, they stated Hart didn't play in the preseason opener and is being given a break. According to Tom Thibodeau, he stated, we just want to make sure he's completely healthy before we completely ramp him up. Now, that is a very interesting statement to me. He didn't have to say that, didn't have to use that terminology. Why did he say we want to make sure he's completely healthy before we ramp him up? Why did he choose those words? For me, that tells me that Josh Hart is not fully healthy. He is not 100%. He has a nagging injury. He's trying to recover from it so he can be 100%. And then, once that happens, he'll showcase his abilities with this new New York Knicks team, and we'll see what he can do. But for Josh Hart fans, the good news is you don't have to worry too much. Even though it seems like he's dealing with a nagging injury and he still has some recovery to do before he can join the team during preseason, it does seem like it's not significant. He is going to be healthy to start the season, and we're going to see the Villanova connection of Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, and Dante DiVincenzo. So if you were worried about that, let me calm your nerves. You have nothing to worry about. We will see those 3 take the court together. Mark my words, it's absolutely going to happen sooner rather than later. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you want to see Isaiah Hartenstein play the primary backup power forward position behind Julius Randle, or should it be Josh Hart? And what do you think about this comment that was made by Tom Thibodeau? Do you think Josh Hart is injured, or do you really think it's nothing and he's just resting? Let me know in the comments because honestly, guys, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you liked it. And if you did, please go ahead and smash that like button. Leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.